The main thing that we use here in the Austin Police Department, we have a special response team. And this is a team that many of you all are aware of. It's our officers that have received special training and have special equipment that aid in handling large-scale demonstrations. The motto of this team is defend the first. And that is what they're focused on, is letting people exercise their First Amendment rights to free speech, but we ensure to the best of our abilities that it is done in a proper, safe, and lawful manner. What we do as we work towards these large events is we pay close attention to social media. We hear about events that may take place, whether it be a march, a protest, anything like that. We pay attention to the social media surrounding that so we can understand the scope of that event. We can understand whether there may be counter events that are planned to challenge the individuals that are partaking in the first one, to look at the size again so we can plan appropriately. We then partner with our other law enforcement agencies or public safety agencies. If it is oftentimes occurring on the state capitol grounds, either the event will begin at the state capitol, will end at the state capitol, so DPS takes the lead role in all of the events that take place on the capitol grounds, and we coordinate anything that takes place outside of the capitol grounds, or if we need to go in and assist. We also see a lot of activity that takes place on the University of Texas campus, and so we work closely with the University of Texas Police Department in ensuring the safety of those free speech events and then helping them if those events lead off campus or if they need assistance on campus. We bring in other groups such as our Office of Emergency Management if there are larger events that are taking place that require more of a citywide perspective to oversee what the potential impacts could be. But I think what's important to note, and one of the things that we do here, is we work with the leaders of the various groups that tend to either protest, come out and march, and come out and speak. We meet with them not only when they have activities planned, we meet with them throughout the year. We maintain relationships with the leadership of our local advocacy groups, those that will work with us and speak with us. We meet with them throughout the year so that we're not only working with them in advance of a planned protest or a planned march or a planned community event. And I think that's what's important, because that way when we are in the moment, when we are at one of these events, if something is occurring or if things seem to be going sideways, we know who to reach out to, we know who to speak to, and we know who to try and set things right. We meet with them in advance of these planned events to go over the expectations, to go over the ground rules, and again, all of this being done to ensure that we're protecting the First Amendment rights to free speech, but that we're doing it in a manner that allows everyone to be as safe as possible. So again, I'm not here at all to cast any judgment on what happened this past weekend in Charlottesville as far as a law enforcement response. I think what we saw was demonstrations like we have not seen in this country in a long time. We saw bigotry, hatred, and violence on display to a level that we have not in decades, and it's unacceptable. And I think it's time that we all have to take a look inward and be part of the solution. And that's how we approach demonstrations in Austin. That's how we work with our activist community, and that's what we do to try and ensure that we keep the Austin community safe while honoring everyone's right to free speech.